Start streaming. Start streaming.
Why is it like this? The haters should be loved, we invited. You don't agree, then you're the problem that we're fighting. Open up your mind, stand up, become righteous. Why is it like this? Instead of haters should be loved, we invited. You don't agree, then you're the problem that we're fighting. Stand up, become right, we invited. You don't agree, then you're the problem that we're fighting. Open up your mind, stand up, become righteous. Why is it like this? Instead of haters should be loved, we invited. You don't agree, then you're the problem that we're fighting.
It's weird. I realise. Hi everyone! Suppose we say hi first. Hello. Good evening. It is. What's the date?
The 16th?
It is the 16th of August.
As if this year needs any...
Yeah, I need to slow down.
Definitely.
August. Although, weather. Feeling a little bit like October sometimes. Apart from today.
And Friday when we were streaming last.
It was
It
very
was a
warm.
really lovely day then as well. Maybe we bring the weather.
Maybe we bring the weather.
Maybe we should stream more often.
Should we just be weather women?
Oh
And
my
today in Loughborough, you will see boiling hot skies. No, I wouldn't be very good at that.
gosh. I just used to like that weather report where he jumped all over the actual big UK. Did you see it? The floating one, was it in the River Thames or something?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't seen that.
Oh my gosh, somebody must remember that. I'm sure it was like a Saturday morning, like, you know, remember that Live and Kicking, that kind of program?
Yeah.
It was like, and then they'd cut to the weather and he'd be running around a big floating version of the UK and he'd be jumping from Wales to, you know, to the Midlands, and then he'd be running up to Scotland and he'd be saying,
Oh, you've just unlocked
yes,
a full memory from my childhood.
That was worth me rambling. Yes.
I fully know what you mean. He'd like step across, but did he ever fall in? I feel like he was pretty skilled in the
Yeah, no,
part of.
he wasn't, that wasn't the idea, was it, for him to fall in? But, like, as in,
Why was that a thing?
he might have, like, on a blooper once upon a time fell in.
Why was that a thing?
What?
That was on like a breakfast show.
Yeah, because that made the weather so much more fun to watch. You know, if you had to choose, which one were you going to watch?
Why don't we do it anymore?
I don't know, let's go up to Charnwood Waters and float our own UK and give you all a weather report.
Who can make us floaties in the shape of
Islands. So that
In
we
the
can
island.
report weather, please.
We'll
Yes,
make
please.
up the weather. It will just be raining if we do the actual one in the UK, I'm sure. Other than
weather.
the date today is the 16th, but more importantly, today is a full moon. And
No, a new moon.
oh yeah.
You've researched it all day.
You know when it actually comes down to the moment and my brain just breaks, I'm like, oh great, because I wasn't sorting all this out all day for my brain to just
Don't worry.
Right.
It's an easy.
I'm not worried. I know I'm with friends. I'm in good company.
Yeah.
You understand.
Hey,
You accept me.
See that you're in the chat. You go, girl. And anybody that's nervous about joining in with the chat, please don't be. Everybody is so friendly.
Hey Annie, yeah, we've got you up on the chat here. It's really cool, isn't it? Being able to. There is like kind of a delay. It's about 30 seconds.
Is it?
Yeah. So
Yeah. So bear that in mind.
if we're replying to you, it might take ages anyway. Every so often we'll come to the chat and make sure that we're paying you guys some attention.
Well, can I just shout out the intro as well? Anna's saying I love the intro, and oh my god, so do I. I've turned up tonight, and it's like whole new setup, everything ready to go.
It's
amazing. I'm so lucky. I've got like the best podcast partner ever.
I can't wait to watch. Oh, bless you. That's so sweet. Oh, thank You know, I have the best podcast partner ever. Pushing. No, I honestly don't. I want to watch that back. I have no idea how that just happened because it started, but then it had no audio to it. And I was like, oh, did I not put audio to this intro? And then I forgot about the delay and it started playing on the monitor that we've got here.
Oh.
And I was, oh God. So then that would have started playing over what you would have got in the future. It's very time-space bending. Yeah, we might have gone back in time from doing that, I think. Shut my phone.
But
Nope, still the 16th of August. And it is a new moon.
yes, a new moon and the cards, well spotted. Moon cards. Funnily enough, I was with Anna last night and Rushfeen had just bought a new pack of moon cards and we were doing readings.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
I love Rush. Shout out Rush. We love a female DJ.
Oh yeah, her music is.
And also shout out to Anna. Always shout out to Anna.
Yeah.
We love Anna. If you want to be part of the different family, get in that chat. Come and talk to us. Especially today, we want to know, for this new moon, are you doing anything? Do you have any rituals? Are you setting any intentions? What have you got rid of to start this new moon? We want to hear from you. We want to know. So particularly I can steal your ideas and maybe get ahead in life.
And can I just say as well, this isn't are you setting intentions, it's what intentions are you setting. This is the perfect opportunity. Tonight is your night. Set those, just one intention. It only has to be something really small. And then start taking steps towards it in the next few days. Use the power, harness the power.
Harness the power. I've been learning myself a little bit these last few days about the moon. Although I've had quite an affiliation with the moon since I was a child, having bipolar. My mum knew that I was going to have a strange day, should we say, if it was a full moon. She'd just look at it and go, yep. But any kind of iteration of that it might be a mental health disorder, she was like, no, don't be silly. It's the moon. She's a Cancer.
Yeah, so it was much more astrologically kind of founded for your mum, wasn't it? In terms of the reason and the answers for your behaviour. There was like other reasons for it.
It's however, studies are being done. There's been a lot of debate for years whether the moon actually has anything to do with people's moods, how people's moods.
Yeah.
People with autism, people with bipolar disorder. There's a wide range of spectrum of disorders and conditions that people tend to change their behaviours and moods during different times of the moon cycle.
Yeah. I mean, I can totally vouch for that. Working in education, not only the moon cycle, but one of my first ever posts on the behavioural record sheet. So we had like a log and you'd just like, note down any kind of behaviour incidents because it created like this bigger picture. And they had a weather box. What was the weather like? Because windy weather was like hugely disruptive. And there is, a light smattering of research and studies on whether wind does affect your mood. But I definitely feel like if the weather is a little bit unpredictable I feel a bit unpredictable. So,
well, this kind of idea that we are made of the same thing, everything that's on this planet and beyond, then of course we will be affected when their environments or what's going on with that sort of stuff is changing. Does that make any sense? Too many stuffs, too many vague stuff.
The thing is, again, the young people that I support, I feel are highly tuned with the world and with nature. So is it surprising that the weather affects them and the moon affects them?
They've got this interest. Do you know what I mean? Even if it's just an interest enough for them to be like, you know what, I think there is something to that. More and more people are becoming interested in this stuff. And I feel like when I was a kid, my stepmom, as in my dad's girlfriend, she was very much into like tarot cards and witchy spells and stuff like that. And I was like, but it was so rare. I'd go to school and be like, oh, my stepmom's like a bit of a goth, and people would be like, what?
Yeah, it was rare.
Yeah, and now it's like every woman practices this at some point in her life now, I feel like, and the younger they're delving into these practices. So it's really interesting, I feel like.
And definitely shout out if this is you and if you've noticed this, because sometimes I'm like, is it just that we're guided to these people so we feel like our whole community is built around this, or has there been a massive shift? Because definitely, again, like with teaching and the kind of young people that I was seeing come through 10 years ago, if I'd mentioned tarot cards and something like that in the classroom, they would have responded with, "Oh, what are you, a witch?" And and they did tease me back then, saying stuff like that. Now they go, "Oh yeah, my mum does that. You remind me of my mum, miss."
100%, yeah.
And they're so open-minded. They're so open to the possibilities of the world. Like, they don't shut anything down and go, "Oh no." They're just like, "Oh yeah, I think that as well," or "Have you ever thought about this?" And definitely the collective consciousness seems to have evolved.
I feel like society, it almost pushes it to this direction as well. When you're living in times of austerity and you don't have great pay, or your parents aren't getting great pay, and you know that opportunities aren't there, there's two main things that happens. Crime, sorry, not rhyme.
I was just thinking
people rhyme more.
They do get into rapping and
but they're rapping about their crimes.
Yes.
So crime is on the rise. That's natural. What happens when you don't have things, you take it. That's just natural. We saw that recent Oxford Street robbery. Did you see where like the groups of people orchestrated it on TikTok?
Yeah.
And that's going to keep happening because these kids are this young, being realizing that they have power if they work in numbers, and that's the way it's going to go.
Yeah.
And the other way is, people are looking for more in life. If you're not getting anything financially beneficial or these opportunities that would benefit you in a materialistic capitalist world, you start looking elsewhere. I know in America there's been a rise in new born-again Christians looking for this connection.
I don't think just in America, just even within my network,
Really?
Two spring to mind straight away. It's that kind of, I mean, I'm just looking and people are agreeing in the chat that there is this global kind of shift.
Shout out Rush. Always shout out you, Rush.
Yeah, no,
you're a queen.
Sure. But yeah, so it is cool to know other people feel that we are awakening and, and almost returning. This isn't new stuff,
Exactly.
This is ancient knowledge and quite simplistic things. So
nothing we cover here today is going to be like deep Wiccan pagan. Literally, we'll get Tara on for that.
I'm gonna say,
oh yeah,
but yeah,
nothing I delve into.
We'll definitely get Taz on. Well, to be honest, I spoke to Taz about coming on camera because she is so fantastic with so many things, and also what I wanted her to do was she tries out a lot of apps and self-help books. So I want her to do like a review section and no nonsense, like, what's great for supporting and why is it good kind of thing. But she was
wicked.
let's
do that.
Yeah, well, straight away though, she was like, "Have you seen me try to like be on camera?" And she's right, she's so awkward, isn't she? So I was like laughing, like, I was like, this is perfect. This is why it's perfect, because we're all about just being our authentic, awkward selves. There's no shame here.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, you're gonna have completely different interests with us, so you will have times like this where I'm sitting back and I'm listening to you about things, and then vice versa,
thinking, what is she going on about?
And I'm not going to sit here in front of you and pretend that I know just as much or as more, because I'm just going to come off in like a fake, inauthentic. No one's going to want to watch that.
Well, it's strange though, because our journey began together about a year ago now, and we always, I know, it's mad, isn't it, to think that. And now here we are, like, live audience. We joked about having a live audience, and here it is.
None of this would have moved as fast if you weren't doing this with me. You can't iterate that.
Absolutely ditto. Do you know how many years people saying, you need to do a podcast, you should do something audio? And I had no idea where to start. So, we're teamed up for a reason. It's the universe guiding and aligning our paths yet again.
Why?
But why is it? But yeah, so it's like a year ago we began this journey, and we were very united on the front of let's change the perspective of ADHD and make it really positive.
Yeah,
that was what united us. That we've got this common identity between us, And we were like, and we both understood that it was misportrayed. But a year down the line, it's kind of like we've grown separately, individually. We've had our own years worth of developing.
Yeah.
Whilst kind of researching things for this platform, it's been very it's very natural in itself, the way it's all developed.
The way it's formed, rather than trying to, in the first instance, I think we were trying to make something fit, like it was for ADHD, but also for autism, and also for, and now just growing to this understanding that it's just under this,
we're just different.
Whether that's your gender, whether that's your sexuality, whether that's your, I don't know,
your interests. You like something a bit outside the box, a bit quirky. You like to spend Saturday afternoons, like, you know, up on the bridge, watching lorries and getting the serial numbers. I am down for that. You know, like whatever floats your boat, you're here on Earth to indulge in certain pleasures, to learn things, you know. Whatever floats your boat, go for it. And I love that. The quirkier people, the better.
There's so much more interest in there. Like when people say, like, "Oh, I just want to be normal," or
don't be normal. It's a trap.
I can't think of a more boring person than someone that gets home from work and can just make their food and then just go to bed. No emotional like turbulence, no, like, I don't know.
Does that even exist though? This is the thing.
I think it does. These people thrive. These people thrive, and the one thing they might lack is self-awareness.
Yeah, so they're just getting on with it. They're the people that are just look straight through.
Self-critical. Levels of high criticism, criticizing themselves. Maybe they can talk. I put that over me.
I think what the deeper kind of issue is that even those normal people are trying to adhere to a certain set of standards that we've all been fed from the minute that we're born.
Exactly. Yeah.
So actually, it's like everybody can be helped, and everybody could break out of their mundane normalness, because we're all kind of like totally unique and yet the same, aren't we?
Yes.
Like snowflakes.
Individualism.
So yeah, it is just about giving people the confidence to break free and show what snowflake they are, instead of trying to bend themselves into a snowflake like somebody else.
Definitely. I don't know if you've seen any of that ADHD Love, the couple that they talk about like relationships and normalizing. So a lot of the things that they do isn't about like how you can improve your ADHD. It's getting people to understand, or for yourself to understand, that you are enough and to accept yourself the way you are. And they've done this recent series of like shorts on Instagram and Facebook or whatever, where they role reverse. Mm-hmm. So it's like she'll be sat on the sofa and she'll be like, "Babe, it's really upsetting me that you can't be on your phone right now while we're watching this film." And he's like, "Oh, sorry, babe." And she's like, you don't need to know anything about this cast or anything. Like, it just really bothers me. And he's like, "Oh, sorry, babe." Like, it's amazing to see it. Like, why is it a problem that I'm on my phone looking at what other film this person's been in? Because it's on my mind. I'm not going to have to watch the film. I need to Google and find out. Yeah.
So what you're kind of highlighting there is that somebody might not understand that part, and they might, because I've had it before where if we're watching something, I do kind of need to be on my phone. Even if what I'm doing is just deleting photos, it's a job that needs to be done, but I can't just sit and watch the film anyway.
To concentrate and relax, I need at least 3 things going on at once.
Yeah, definitely. So, yeah, and that's the thing. It's about everyone kind of understanding that just because you couldn't concentrate like that, that's how I concentrate, and it doesn't matter.
Yours isn't right and mine isn't wrong. We just do it differently. Both should be accepted.
The ironic thing is that you can both be ADHD and both do these things the opposite, and that's where the confusing thing kind of comes in, isn't it? Because it's like, well, I'm not ADHD because I don't do that. And it's like, well, I am ADHD, so are you, and you do that, and I don't. I don't know. It's
exactly.
Yeah, it's still unique.
My ADHD isn't your ADHD.
Yeah, but it's so strange, isn't it? Because I think almost that was one of the things we came across where it was like, how do we define it? Because we're the yin and the yang of ADHD in a lot of respects, aren't we? It's like we've obviously got those similarities and the same battles, but they display it in different ways or have completely different kind of processes.
Right. Okay.
Even though it's the same struggle, it's a different
No, yeah, I see what you mean.
Yeah, but it's like, you still know it's ADHD. But when somebody on the outside's looking in and you're trying to explain that, well, even though she does that and I do this, it's still the same thing. It's like, well, you're just now making up.
Yeah.
You just now try to capture everything in, and it's not quite.
Like trying to get the symptoms across to people. It's actually this rolls into some of my news of the week, which is something that annoyed me this week. I'm not going to lie. We'll start with the good stuff, and then we'll start with the bad stuff, then we'll get to the good stuff. So it all ties back to a common issue that we run into when we're trying to raise awareness for ADHD. Is it seems like half the people don't believe it exists, adamant that it doesn't exist, and the other half are diagnosing themselves from TikTok because they also forget things sometimes. I'm so ADHD. Oh, that was so ADHD of me, and it's like, no, it's just a standard way of living, because these symptoms aren't experienced by just people with ADHD. Everyone knows. I always say the same example. Everyone knows what it's like to walk into a room and forget what you went in there for. We've all done it. Okay? Yeah. How often you're doing that, and the frequency, and how much it's impacting your life is the more crucial part. That is what determines if you have ADHD. So a man called Matt Walsh, who is an American right-wing political commentator, which I'm sure you already know where I'm going with this. He's responsible for movies such as Transanity and What is a Woman? And he's now, I found a blog post from him, which came from a tweet that I saw, and I just started delving in. He managed to write a piece where he landed himself on both sides of these spectrums, and it's incredible. It's almost like, how did you do that, Matt Walsh?
That's literally what that Dominic Lawson did that time, where once I was picking his article apart, I was like, so you're saying it doesn't exist, and you're saying you've got those symptoms and that it's not...
Exactly. You know, that... So in this article, it goes to say about how he has it, how he's definitely sure, because the symptoms, he does this, he gets overloaded, he loses interest sometimes, he struggles to concentrate, all these different... Just describes himself as an average human being, to be honest, or someone that's bored. And he goes on to explain that, and he was like, I have all the symptoms, so if it was real, I'd have it, but it's not. And it is the most
bizarre thing.
Yeah, and it's so strange, because he talks about, I know I have this. I have 3 tabs open on my computer right now.
3?
It was hilarious.
Oh my God. I have different browsers, so I have Chrome, and then I deal with my Samsung internet, and then I have about 30 in each. So it's like, I have 3 browsers, never mind that's in those. Sometimes I find a new browser, and it's like a whole new world of things I'd forgotten.
Exactly. And that still doesn't cover the tabs that are open in my brain. Yeah. You know what I mean? They are still going off in the background.
Basically, ADHD is being a human chronically. being all the negative, aware. Chronically of all the negative things of being human, chronically. No. So it's like, even something that would be positive, usually in a small dose, it's like, in our dosage, it's like, oh great.
That's insane. So it just infuriated me reading it, where he's talking about, and in some point he talks about, there's 3 articles that probably won't even get sent off, ask my wife. And you know what? I would like to talk to his wife.
Yeah.
The man literally did a video, a whole movie called What is a Woman? And he's married. So I'd really like to speak to her and find out how that's going.
Long-suffering woman by the sounds of it.
I bet that's really interesting.
The thing for me is, ADHD is an easy target. So articles like that, for me, I'm like, there's no point even trying to make head nor tail or sense of it, because you're only attacking it because it gets you clicks. That is literally it. You wouldn't attack something like spina bifida. Do you get what I mean? Yeah. You wouldn't start attacking that and saying it didn't exist, because there'd be far too much of a negative backlash. But with an ADHD attack, you are going to get a community of people that are going, gosh, that actually really hurt, because I've had some really bad struggles with ADHD.
Yeah.
But it's really easy to go, well, you can't prove it anyway. Look at you. You look fantastic. You're dead successful. So it just, in my mind, you kind of think you're always going to, because the answer is, just don't comment on it. Just, if you've got nothing to add to the party, what is the harm it's doing to you? And if it's specifically somebody that in your personal circle that's using it as as a reason to treat everybody horribly or something like that, address that. That is an issue. Yeah, I agree.
100%.
Using it as an excuse is an issue.
Definitely. A common argument that I see on this side is that they're over-medicating kids. And unfortunately, it's just not true. There is about 1.5% of children that have ADHD that get medical treatment. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're given stimulants. It just means that they're given medical treatment. And that is still nowhere near the 6% of kids that are expected to have ADHD.
Yeah.
It doesn't cover anywhere near them. What's actually happening is people are struggling to get a diagnosis. People are struggling to get medication.
So they're self-medicating.
In America, when you've got private healthcare, you can get Adderall prescribed to you like that. The amount that people are abusing it should not be confused for the amount of people that need it.
Yeah. Not need, can we say, benefit from
it.
Because for me, medication and the whole lot, I've seen kids medicated on it, and I've seen negative instances as well of medication in kids. And, for me, there's other routes. There's a whole system needs changing where we're not looking to medication as a route to help cope. We're looking at changing the whole of society so that these, things aren't a problem in the first place. Do you see what I mean?
100%. And I think...
But it's just an easy target again, isn't it? We're medicating kids.
And you are in a profession, unfortunately, where you would see more often these people. I mean, you work with behavioural children, children that have behavioural issues that are more likely to have this. It's the average kid that is experiencing ADHD, which we're understanding is more common now, is not getting this kind of it's a lot of CBT.
And then just not getting the right kind of support, full stop. Like, even something like this, talking about the moon, talking about how the weather might connect to your emotions or how the moon might connect to your mood, that would be more beneficial than...
I don't agree with that.
No, than anything they're getting at the minute.
100%.
Because they're not... At the minute, they're getting told, you've got ADHD, take this once a day, and that's all they're being told. They're not being told... your ADHD is going to make you more susceptible to higher moods, like blah, blah, blah. Do you get what I mean? There's no follow-up whatsoever. And that's the frustrating thing.
Yeah, I agree that if that's what's happening in terms of when kids are being given medication, then that's definitely not how that should be happening. And then full assessment should be properly taking place.
You'll say to them, well, what meds are you on? And quite often they will know the name of the med or why you're taking that. And they're like, I don't know. So it's like, please just explain to them why they're taking different medications at different times of day for different things.
Psychoeducation goes a hell of a long way.
It's just really frustrating because then you've got 15-year-olds deciding to come off the medication because they don't like how it feels, or deciding they're going to continue with cannabis use instead of their meds because they prefer how that makes them feel without understanding what the long-term risks of each might be. And it's just like, oh my goodness, we just need better education.
Not everyone's going to benefit from the types of medications that are available. Some people are going to need way more out of the box thinking that's going to be able to be a lot more fitting for their lifestyle.
I've seen meds though give kids a break from their hyperactivity, and I've seen it where you see almost the relief, and it is,
So that's a kind of drug. Again, it's a double-edged sword. It's hard, isn't it? Was it Catch-22 or whatever it's called, where it's nice to see that they've got a break, and it's just like, it's horrible that that's what you have to get to for that kid to have a break.
Yeah.
And stuff like tranquilizers, I don't agree with giving to children. I think that's awful. I really don't agree with that. Something to help you concentrate just a little bit. And I think that's where another thing, a point that they make, is this abuse versus people that actually benefit from it. There are tons of people that are taking like 5 or 10 Adderall a day.
Yeah.
And they're getting tolerances for it. And they're also taking the medication for people. There's a shortage right now because of these people that are taking it that don't need it.
Well, that's the other thing.
Compared to the people that haven't got their prescription yet that need it. It's crazy.
I know a lot of families over the years that they're collecting the medication for the kids. The kids don't even know about this medication, but the fact that the kids have got diagnosis and get a medication kind of adds to something that benefits the family clearly. And it's like sometimes the kids will come in and quite innocently say, "Oh yeah, I get a prescription, but I don't take it." Like they're like, "But my mum like gets a prescription because it adds to the money." And they'll just innocently say something like that, and you're like, the whole system is just so ridiculous because
really sad.
It is sad because it's like even the kids that I'm talking about where you say, "Oh, I've seen it work and it gives them a break," they're traumatized kids. They shouldn't be in that state in the first place. They've suffered such severe trauma in their early years, so that's why they're so,
I feel like there's certain interventions that should be done way before you address someone's ADHD. If something has happened because of their ADHD, if say they're in an environment like that, it's not just your ADHD then, that's you're living below the poverty line. If you're on benefits, your opportunities aren't there. There's way more than your ADHD that needs to be addressed here.
That's the thing,
because that's
definitely.
the kind of person that will end up committing crime, that will end up hospitalised, and they'll get the diagnosis dead quick then.
I think
the worst could happen.
It's like an article like that, whoever that guy was, it's like, hopefully we'll watch this little discussion that we've had, and it's like, this is the kind of response that we need to be having to those kind of clickbait articles where it's like, actually, there is genuine issues and
they're all debate lords. They all just debate for the sake of debating. They don't actually have any want to understand or exchange ideas.
Because the thing is, there is still debatable issues even within what we've discussed, but it's like, let's have that conversation, instead of just slating it and making a whole nation of people feel like unseating.
Yeah.
Just raise what the actual issues are, because there are issues.
Definitely. Well, I feel like that also goes into the good news that I've researched. So off you go, Matt Walsh. Carry on with your ridiculous life. Hope that's your poor wife. Amen to her. Poor woman.
Is she a woman? That's all.
Is she a woman? Does he know what that is? Would he prefer a man? Is that really what's got into his Christian brain that he can't quite wrap his head around, that he actually wants a man? That'd be a real shame.
I'm just reading the chat as well, like,
oh, bless you.
The little army is behind us.
Let's have a look at this chat. I love the cards. Thank you.
I know, it's nice to see them.
Real queens. The deeper the better.
Yeah.
Imagine that was about what we're discussing. Not
that was when we said let's
rude. That's for the after dark rush. We're all different. For president, please. You're aware we have prime ministers, don't you, sweetheart?
But
we'll do it.
Yeah, no, we'll be in Parliament talking these things. That would be hilarious, just because we do actually speak the truth. So you'd be like, and that would be the end of that.
I'm going to need you all join the Socialist Party, and we can
Greenpeace and all sorts. Right, so what is this good news? On the edge of my seat.
So a new kind of treatment is looking possible for children with ADHD. So a recent trial has come out on the 8th of February where a group of universities in the UK, part of the Hebrew University School, I think, basically did a study on children where they used electromagnetic pulses that basically stimulate certain nerves, and it showed that doing that while doing cognitive therapy improved their symptoms for up to 33%, and those symptoms were studied within the resting state, which is very rarely tested. We look about how calming a kid down when their behaviors are up there, or when their mood's down here. Very rarely do we look at what their mind is like when they're not stimulated, when there's no challenge, which is often where the rumination, the thoughts, the deeper actions kind of happen.
That's where the addictions creep in, because it's like those normal times that you're like looking for, something.
Some sort of stimulation.
Something to do.
So they were able to. It's a really cool study. Basically, it was a double-blind sham control study, meaning that randomized as well, meaning that there was two groups: ones that received the treatment and ones that received the procedure, but not the actual treatment.
Yeah.
So that neither of them know which group they're in. The doctors or the researchers also didn't know what group they're in. So no one knows. This is really good for research. It means that no one can be biased, no one can fudge things. And it showed that, I believe it was 6 in 12, or 6 out of 11 found there to be real huge changes, again, like 33% change in their symptoms, compared to the control group, which didn't receive the treatment, and they saw a 5% increase.
Yeah.
Or it was something like 2 people out of 11 of their group. It was a really small amount. And some people might look at that and think, okay, well, they benefited as well. What does that show? Well, they both received cognitive therapy.
Yeah.
And that can just show that cognitive therapy can really help people with ADHD.
Some people, yeah.
Some people, that small amount. But by adding this electrostimulation, it was right. It's very cool. More studies need to be done, but it's like groundbreaking. It's very cool. It's non-invasive. It doesn't involve drugs.
There's a video game as well that was being developed, I think, in America about last year, kind of thing. And it was, the way it was built was to improve memory, recall, those kind of like cognitive or what's the word I'm looking for? Executive functioning skills. But it was great because they'd done it to a platform game, and by adding in rewards and then having to do repeated tasks, to get the rewards and stuff like that. They were creating better pathways, but in ways that usually you wouldn't be able to access in a kid because it was a game. They were like playing it. But I was like, that is so
their dopamine's already getting a high from that, and it's almost forming those pathways with positive chemicals.
Instead of a therapist going, and now I want you to think about this
alongside this scary room away from your parents and friends. So
I was like, that is such a cool way, because storytelling and then using any kind of tech to help what we're doing.
Definitely.
Oh, that is excellent.
Let's do an LEG and get everyone hot.
In Parliament, they're saying about we need to go and storm Parliament. That would be absolutely hilarious. Well, I was going to say let's talk about what intentions we're setting for this new moon, but storming the Parliament, like, we don't want to do it. If TikTok caused the riot on Oxford Street, this is what we're going to do. Just kidding.
Don't take it down.
Screen
So, one part of the new moon is manifesting in the new, but before that, there's a cleanse of self, of body, of mind, of emails. What have we been doing for that? What have we been doing to clear out the old? Because I personally been saving this. You might recognise where this water came from.
Mm-hmm.
This is bus water, almost. This water, Lindzi got for me when I came to see the bus. Someone on the land was able to get into the building that's on there, so she was able to get some water. This water comes all the way from where Lindzi's bus is. And last night, up until this afternoon, it got left out for the half moon. So, we got the water. For the audio listeners, I'm not in the loo right now. I am not weeing. I'm just putting some moon water into a vase. And also what we have behind the magic curtain. Water, we have earth represented with the flowers. We have fire represented with the candles that are not on.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you can't see them on the screen anyway, I don't think.
Well, I forgot my lighter for this one, so we'll save that.
And and the incense.
Wait, they're not even on it anyway.
Yeah. And we have air represented with our incense.
That's oh God.
In show edits. This is oh wow, look at that. Very posh.
I'm learning. Oh, wait, can someone just confirm that we're still on the screen? I'm just gonna wait. Oh, wait.
Yeah, like everyone's cooking dinner right now. Like nobody's at their screens.
Yeah, that's what we find out. No one's actually watching.
Well, yeah. So we've got
That was another thing.
The elements are represented. Yeah, it was incense for air.
Incense for air.
Are
you proud of me?
Yeah, very proud. Yeah, so impressed. So let's
shower me with
put a little bit of moon water on our hands.
part of the ritual.
I have literally been clearing out so much this last week. You know, like I sorted my office space out yesterday or the day before, so that was great. We're on screen.
All I need to know.
In fact, pass the sound bowl then, because that's a energy cleansing. I'll do a quick that'll cleanse you. You can set intentions. Where did I put it? What was that? I can see it. Oh,
I've never seen one in person. This is like a Real Housewife, like trinket. This is all I know it from.
oh, really?
Yeah.
The Real Housewives have one.
Yeah, there's always an episode where they go off and do some spiritual healing and then argue straight after. Wow, I didn't know it, like, you have to build up. What motive is he gonna help? Can you hear that? Let's see if we can pick up any noises from here. I'll record.
So, this, the consistent frequency, is a brilliant way to cleanse your aura, cleanse your crystals, cleanse the space, brings everything to the same vibrational frequency. So everything is vibrating alongside this. Otherwise, we're just silent.
Hello, audio listeners.
Well, there we go. We're now cleansed and recharged and ready to set our intentions.
Hopefully they heard a little bit at the end of that.
You want me to try and get it going again? Why you think, like, maybe say what your intention's going to be?
So, I have a lot of goals, mainly for this channel and for this platform. I feel like a year in, still only half a year. A little bit higher. Still only half a year of doing the podcast. Everyone just jumped out of their skin then if you were listening to it. I don't think that was that loud.
Yeah. Welcome to the chat party.
We once we get better mics, which again, all part of the manifestation. Really, I know it sounds greedy, but we need cash. We need cash so that we can fulfill the things that we want to do.
Our guides can help
the people that we want to help, and just grow. Do you know what I mean? Having that financial worry taken away leaves more, I don't know, space to create, like freedom of mind to create rather than like.
There is no like cash injection in this at all, is there? It is literally like we are just going each week at the moment and asking our guides for help.
And that's what I'm manifesting.
Yeah, that's our intentions.
I'm manifesting a community. We've got the building blocks to it. We've got some amazing people.
We've got the cornerstones. We've got people around the UK that we've met that are supporting us, you know, and it's great. We like chat to them and
definitely are all vital parts of this community already. I hope they don't mind me putting them in this community without asking them. But like literally, you are like family, and I feel like the energy that we've had for this project, for this platform, since meeting more people and getting like, it feels like every day there's more people either messaging me or we're meeting that are like, yeah, I have ADHD too. Oh my God, let me get your thing. Yeah. And it's becoming worth it. Before I was like, God, podcast. Don't worry about it. Now I'm like, look, we're not that big yet, but we're getting there. And yeah, I don't know if anyone saw that British Podcast Awards. I've been asking people to vote for us. I know we're not big.
You've literally said two things now that said would be slapping your wrist for.
Right, I'm sorry for that.
Oh, we're not a very big podcast, and you've said, I know we're not going to, but got to stop putting these out. Our intention tonight is we are a successful and valuable and worthy podcast that is serving.
The only reason I'm okay with saying that is because I don't actually mind.
Yeah.
And again, it's realistic, and then there's being like specific.
Yeah.
I think we'd be in a wrong position to win that now. People would be like, why?
Yeah. We have two listeners that regularly tune in.
But I didn't know the British Podcast Awards existed.
Yeah.
So now I do. I'm coming for you.
Well, on September the 30th, it's International Podcast Day.
What date?
September the 30th, but it's the day that I come home from holiday, so it's like I think we'll have a lot of free records of it unless I'm on the plane. Like, whee!
How are you getting back from the airport?
I don't even know what time I'm flying back, so.
Okay. If I could meet you at the airport. Literally, if I need to pick you up, then we can record it on the way back.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
We won't do
that. Yeah. That's not the way that my boyfriend's imagining the holiday to end. That might be the end of my relationship as well as the holiday.
Come on, Liv. You don't want me in your relationship. You imagine if it was anything like my holidays as well, we'd probably just argued on the way back because it's just stressful traveling. It's like, how was your holiday? It's like, I don't want to see them again.
To be fair, we were talking last night, like when you come back from holiday, the main thing, this was me and Lou that was talking about this, that you're looking forward to is a cup of tea in your own bed. And it's like such a common thing that you hear people saying it, like, oh, I'm gutted to be back, but I'm looking forward to a cup of tea in my own bed. I swear I hear that a million times.
100%.
But
yeah, that when you get in there, it's like, oh, we're so excited. The second you know that you've got to get to the airport to go home, it's just long. Every queue you hit, you're like, no, I can't do this.
This is why I'm so glad that I read. I literally walk through the airport with a book in my hand. Every queue I just stand and I just read. I'm like, don't talk to me.
I watch podcasts.
Yeah.
Literally the craziest stuff's happening on my phone. I don't watch the most PC podcasts, and people can look over my shoulder, but it stops me freaking out in an airport.
Well, I heard recently that if you travel with your sunflower lanyard on with Jet2, they were absolutely brilliant. So that was a nice little bit of feed.
I need to get one.
I've got one. I've hung it in my door to remind me that I have got it if I feel like I'm going somewhere that I would want to make it known in case I started getting overwhelmed.
Do you have any more intentions you'd like to set? Does anyone get them in the chat?
What
are your intentions you're setting for this new moon?
We are a growing podcast, and that's a good way to describe it, isn't it? Because growing has potential. Yes.
100%.
Well, my intentions definitely are based around the fact that this is going to be a consistently live thing now moving forward. And we're hoping to bring midweek entertainment to you guys and an opportunity to kind of talk immediately and get answers immediately. So if people are out there and they're struggling and they don't know where to go, people can now say, well, every Wednesday there's this pair of girls that sit on a bed and
we'll answer
chat,
anything.
Yeah, and they chat about mental health and they'll do whatever they can to try and share.
Yeah, and we're not just nutters. We have got some credibility behind us. We do kind of know what we're talking about.
Yeah, I'm going to say, like, both of us are, like, legit.
We're just presenting dysfunctional. We're actually very smart.
Yeah, that was all true. I'm dysfunctional and smart.
Those can be real and true at the same time.
Yeah, without a doubt. I think, like, some of the most intelligent people are the most dysfunctional because you've got so much, you're just away with the fairies. You've got so much thinking to do. It's like, how can I possibly organise life as well as all of this thinking? All of these thoughts in my head. But yeah, my intentions are around this. And the card that I drew last night when I did the moon card basically said, you have so many ideas. You've got to kind of look at what's trending, look at what's going to actually bring about the aim that you're looking for and focus on it. So it was like, it was really in tune.
Asking what's part of the action plan then?
Yeah, it was like remind yourself of what you're doing it for. And weirdly enough, when I revisit my, not the diary from this year, but the diary from the year before. So as the platform was first like growing, the thing that I kept saying I wanted was, where's the stage? Where's that stage to talk about this stuff? And where's the connection and the community? And now I'm looking at this thinking, we've created it. You know, those things are now, those things have now manifested. So that card made me think, well, remember what you wanted. You wanted to be able to share the message. You wanted to be able to create a stage. You wanted to be able to create a spotlight for amazing people to inspire others. And and anything that's going to help towards that is what I should be.
And that is why we will get on the shortlist that I'm manifesting, because that enough is eyes. I will take the eyes.
Oh yeah,
when people are scrolling. Oh, what's that? I've never heard of that.
They're different.
The word different. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's such a magical word. Like, yeah, I'm different. When I was younger, it was like embarrassing to be different. There was a small group of people that you could hang with and they'd appreciate you being different. And outside of there, people would be like, now it's like, I don't want to be the same as everyone. You know, there's these terms like basic bitch, although I don't subscribe to it. Be as basic as you want, whatever that means. I love a pumpkin spice latte. And apparently that's pretty basic. I don't subscribe to anything. Whatever. Be yourself. That in itself. Be different. Who cares? Different means you don't subscribe to terms like that.
Well, that's the thing in it. Just
why did I do that? That's so dorky. Do I do that normally?
You want to be a dork?
Yeah, that is what I'm asking. It's your time to tell me.
Well, I absolutely love the word geek, and I've always highly subscribed to being a secret geek.
A geek, yeah. Geek and nerd. It used to be, again, terms that were so like derogatory. And now it's like, do you remember that phase during like 2010 where people had like the fake glasses and it was like cool chic. To be like geek chic? That was it. Exactly. And now, you know, there's people that are like, well, I was a nerd before it became cool. And it's almost that now. It's became like, it's cooler to be an actual nerd than ironically nerdy.
Yeah, I know. It is very strange, isn't it? Because like you say, it was out of fashion to be different. Now it's cool to be different, and thank God we're finally on trend. That's what I say. I've been like this my whole life.
Exactly. Everyone else is just
now it's trending,
falling into place.
I'm loving some of the intentions that are coming through.
Read them out. Or can you I'm blind.
Success and happiness, which is, you know, simplistic and beautiful.
Success and happiness we wish for you, Rush.
Yeah,
indeed, for you.
And I know that I know it's happening for you as well, mate, after what we were talking about last night, which is great.
Yeah, Rush, if anyone can see Rush, I don't know if you can click on her name in the chat. Amazing DJ. Go and check her
music out. Is insane. So good. And then we also have intentions to start up my own business. Absolutely fantastic. And to be the best mama.
Oh,
absolutely ace.
Already smashing it.
I'm loving. Yeah, you are absolutely loving this.
Love you, Anna.
Really cool. I mean, we were saying
your own business. That's like a.
Yeah, well, do you know, mine and Anna's first conversation when we was talking about, you know, anything and everything was this business idea that her and her best friend had about crystals and bath bombs and things like that, like, you know, Pampers, and I was saying, oh my God, you should do a pamper set for a new moon and a full moon so that people buy it, like, and then they've got everything that they need to do their own ritual. But then I was saying to her last night, oh my God, we need to actually create these umbrellas and do these
100%.
Yeah.
Just my mind gets so excited.
But then this is what that card said last night with my think about what I'm trying to achieve and focus on that.
Just by doing that, you can bring other people along the way. You know what I mean? I'm holding on tight. I'm not letting you go. Come with me.
I firmly believe that the more you align with yourself, the more you do what's right for you,
the
brighter your light shines, and it's more helpful for others anyway.
It's hard, isn't it? Because we're taught so often, to be selfless, and I feel like you identify with that a lot. You're very good at giving up your own pleasures, your own luxuries for someone else's happiness that you care about. That's like something that you naturally do. I know you've said you've done that since you were a kid.
I think as well, especially as I've got older, I naturally weigh up how much it's going to bother me in comparison to how much it's clearly bothering them. You know, like, and I'm quite a simple person. I can go without, so quite often I'm like, well, it's not going to upset me that much, and in comparison, it's upsetting them.
Yeah.
So
I feel like it's a really interesting and very touching part of you. It's very sweet, but concentrating solely on yourself first. That must be a really like alien way for you to have initially started thinking. Like, was it not hard for you to adapt?
Because I don't think I ever didn't think like that. If you see what I mean, like.
No, but now that you're thinking of for yourself, now you're thinking
right,
purposely for
yourself. To go that way. Yeah.
It was really hard,
yeah.
To the point you just forgot that you were having to do that.
No, but sorry, I'd got lost in the other thing. But no.
ADHD.
Yeah. Well, so say if I say no because it's the right thing for me.
Yeah.
I still really suffer from that. I have to literally be dead firm with myself. And even still now, I'm still getting to grips with the fact that people aren't bothered and stuff like that.
100%.
They weren't asking because they would, I don't know, it's just really...
That's another part of that, Matt Walsh. One of his things is you're just not disciplined. And I totally disagree. I might not be that disciplined.
I'm pretty disciplined. Are. Yeah, and I still have, times where...
I saw you stress out from thinking you were going to have to do this wheelbarrow race. I was like, you don't have to do it. It's just like a community fun thing. And you were like, no, people are relying on me. I've got to do it. It was so important to you that it was hard for you to be like, I haven't got time. Yeah. And actually say no. And your mood was so different. You weren't like, oh, thank God, I don't have to do that now. It was like weighing on you.
Yeah, no, I didn't enjoy that whole scenario.
It was really sweet. It was really cute, but it was very I saw how the internal battle that you face with that.
Well, no, I think the more I'm understanding souls and stuff anyway, I know it's going to sound really ridiculous. I don't know how it's going to sound. But, I understand that
it out there.
My purpose on this earth is more for the greater good than it is for my... I don't know. Do you get what I mean? It's the more I'm kind of, understanding soul contracts and the healing aspect and stuff like that, I think I understand where monks and stuff come from, where they're just they can go without because they're like, I'm not here for that. I'm here for something
It's very Western ideology that actually thinks of individualism as the best thing. I look out for me. I am responsible for me. If I work hard, I can look after me. You know what I mean? It's about me doing me in this world. And I find that really unfulfilling. I find we've been doing that, and that's why you've got credit crunches and bonuses going to bankers that don't deserve. It just, where's the community spirit? And I'm often being told that doesn't exist anymore. That people want individualist. I don't believe them.
We've seen it too much. We've come across it too much. Yeah. Community to know people do still want it.
People that are controlling you to think this way, they might want it that way. But no, yeah.
Well, do you know what I'm distracted by? On the screen that's filming us, I've been working on the bus all week. My tan line, is horrendous. Look at that. But it's been distracting me for about the last 10 minutes. That's probably what first got me when I don't know what talking. And even my legs look really white compared to this part of my arm. Because obviously I've been working on it on the hard, so it's not
should be easy now.
I smell of diesel as well now. That's now my new smell.
Yeah, if you thought that she was going to sit back and get people to do this stuff for her.
I'm learning it all on the job. I'm going.
What were you doing today?
It's just
putting diesel into...
I was trying to put diesel in the engine purely so that I can keep turning the engine over. And I actually took a video. I'll send it and you can slot it in when...
But it was short.
Yeah, because I'm trying, then I'm like, oh my God, but I had to because the petrol tank's really high up and I'm only short. So I had to lift it up above me and like be trying to pour it in this funnel. And then I was like petrified I was going to drop the plant diesel all over myself. You know, like the fear is real as I'm thinking, what am I doing? But yeah, I've managed to get one in. But it's like, because I need to turn the engine on to keep the battery going.
Yeah.
And it's on red, so you can't keep turning it on and sucking out the dregs. It won't do the engine any good. So it's just been a day.
Well done, though. I think many people would have been like, no, I can't do this. And backed out way before.
Yeah.
now.
Well, like I say, I'm just having this massive realization now that, God, I've just got to get on with it and get it done. Like no one else is going to do it for me. You know, like I am the project manager. Like I just and I have no team. I am everyone and everything on the team.
I feel real sorry for a project manager that has your patience. For anyone that has to do that work, you know, it's going to be like, right, when can you do it? Now. Or why can't it be done now?
I want it now.
Patient.
I want it yesterday because I've visualized it so hard. It's like I know exactly what that bus looks like. But yeah, these are my intentions: the podcast and the bus.
Podcast and the bus. So mine is, I mentioned
Cash.
just some. Yeah, not necessarily just cash, like opportunities, things that can help this grow and other people to find us. Yeah. Cash seems like the easiest way to do that, but I know it's not the only way.
Yeah.
So I'm just welcoming in any kind of attention and support that we can get from all corners of this globe. Yes, and on a personal note, I think I've just decided now, I want to be more disciplined. I need to start actually putting that into action. I've been saying it for years, and I feel like now with this live broadcast, rather than because I was buzzing last week.
Yeah.
We pressed stop recording. It went straight to YouTube, and I didn't have to go through and edit it and go over each bit 50,000 times. I love editing. Editing a podcast is just a little bit just switching cameras.
Yeah.
It's a little bit
yeah.
And it just wasn't fulfilling me to do the things that I really wanted to make. I want to make short films and little bits for us and stuff. Yeah. And suddenly I put it down. I was like, I've just freed myself up so much time, so much anxiety.
Yeah.
I can do this now. And it gave us a new life to start. Okay. And now I can be more disciplined. You know what I mean? I don't have to, the editing schedule that I was on, I was making myself ill.
Yeah. I was getting concerned. So, this through as a swerve ball almost, going live and then loving it and being like, this is it, this is the way forward now. Makes sense.
I'm almost can't remember why I think I was scared that I was going to mess up, but
well, you can't really care. If you mess up, everyone's just going to laugh, and then that's the end of that, and we get on with the next bit.
Pretty much. Or they'll just move on because we're not for them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, and I'm not worried about people that I'm not for. I'm just thinking about the ones that are actually going to be watching us. If we don't pull it off, come on, we can do this. We can be entertaining once a week.
In which case, though, just bring down a little bit. I can see it clipping. There's a... Oh, no, I forgot what I was going to say. Brain injured myself with a clipping light.
Well, I think it's about time to wrap it up anyway. To keep us on schedule. I know.
Okay. I know, it goes so fast. How long has it been?
An hour.
Or already. Guys. It's been cool.
Yeah, it's been really
fun.
Cool. And it's going to be every week now, because like I say, I think it's going to be a great way for people to connect that are feeling isolated.
Definitely.
Once a week conversation.
Yeah.
People that want immediate answers.
If you want topics you want to cover, let us know. If you've got questions you want to ask, let us know. If you want to come in the chat and ask us, you can ask us there. Or if you want us to address it you think it's worth actually addressing to a larger audience, DM us, send us a message on Instagram, Facebook. We've got the website, adifferenthumordesign.co.uk. And subscribe, boost the algorithm, help us as much as you can. Please and thank you. Peace and love. And
this has been
a different podcast. Gotta make this work.
Well, I was gonna go. This is lit, and then I was like, no, I don't even know who team it is. And I was like, I'm not gonna.
Okay, yeah, you do it. This is Lindzi,
and this is Stephanie. Let's do it again. Let's do it again. This is Steph.
This is Lindsay.
And this is Steph.
Right, I've got this. We are different. Okay.
This is Steph.
Wait, I was supposed to go?
Yeah, that was okay. I was just going to go with it.
Right. This is Lindsay.
And this is Steph.
We are a different human design. And this is a different podcast.
Good night.
See you next week.
That was great.
It's
definitely
you don't agree, then you're the problem. Now we're fighting. Open up your mind, stand up, become righteous. Why is it like this? Instead of hating,